This episode of the John Lebang Show is brought to you by Banger for President 2016.
Yeah, when the two-party system leaves you feeling ill deep down, then you only have one option. Vote for none of the above, man, or else you'll get the runs.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message. The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Welcome, my friends, to another 60 minutes of sonic vibrations. I'm your host, John Lebang, and I'd like to thank everyone who is listening in on all of our affiliate stations, including our newest affiliate station, Identify Radio in the United Kingdom. The radio revolution known as the John Lebang Show continues to spread like a riot fire from Detroit to the United Kingdom, from Iowa to Chicago, New York to Canton, Ohio, Las Vegas to Tampa to Amsterdam. Greetings and salutations. We have another cop shooting someone. It's becoming the norm in the news cycle, isn't it? Cops shooting someone, riots in the street, terrorist attack. Then we start over. It's like the old school typewriters. Remember that? You would get through the line, and then it would go back and reset, and you'd start the line over. It's like the first line is like, cop shoots someone. Then we get riots in the streets. Then there's a terrorist attack. And then something happens with the presidential campaign, and then it all starts again. Cop shoots someone. Riots in the streets. Terrorist attack. Something happens in the campaign, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats. And the Charlotte police, who are on the defensive right now, they're trying to show how well-mannered their police force is. Released some videos on the shooting of Keith Lamont Scott. This is a report from one of the local news sources. Remember when Michael Brown got shot? It was Michael Brown. When Trayvon Martin got shot, it was Trayvon Martin. But when you get shot in Charlotte, Keith Scott doesn't sound something enough. Keith Scott must not sound black enough, so they have to include Lamont, one of my favorite characters from the Sanford and Son TV series. They have to include Lamont in the title to make sure everybody knows it's a black guy who got shot. And the police released these dashboard cameras, and they had one of a cop with a body cam, you know, those famous body cams. All these departments are now requiring some of their officers to wear. Apparently, in Charlotte, North Carolina, there's not enough body cams for all the cops, but one guy did. Now, in the video, you can hear the cop saying, "Drop the gun." They're yelling it, "Drop the gun." Most folks would drop the gun because you just don't want to get shot by the police officers, right? It's one thing to go to jail for whatever they're busting you for. It's another thing to just get blown away. Most people don't want to get blown away by the cops. And according to the spokesperson at the police department there in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, he says, at every encounter, people can make a decision to follow lawful verbal commands and avert some of these things like this. So when the cop demands you to submit to him, you're supposed to do it, according to the spokesperson here from Charlotte Police Department. And in most cases, I guess that's true. I mean, you don't want to get shot when they've got their guns drawn out like this, ready to go. I mean, it is America in 2016, and the news have been just putting out story after story after story of white cop shoots black guy. So I know from personal experience by talking to some people I know that they're a little afraid of the cops right now because the news is highlighting the fact that these things are happening. Is it possible that the police department can have their guns? Just, pretend you're Jesse James. And just keep your gun on your holster there. There was a whole bunch of cops. You've got body armor. You don't want to end the situation in a gunfight, do you really? So if a guy's got a gun and he's not pointing at you, why you can have your hand on your gun. Sure, it's not that hard to pull it out of your holster, I know. And most of you guys are pretty trained. You should be able to hit a target moving from your holster straight up and bang. So you don't need that gun pointed out at every person when you're confronting them about something. Especially when there's a lot of cops and only one of these dudes. And he was with his girlfriend. You can say, sir, drop your weapon. You're surrounding him. If he goes to move it, you got the flak jacket. You know, you've got training. You know how to duck. Chances are a guy in the hood there isn't going to be a marksman with a shot. I mean, they hold a gun in an entire different way. How can you be accurate the way they hold their guns? Out there in the hood. It's cocked to the side there. It's not up and down where you can look at it through the sight. And I'm not saying take risks, but to avoid some of these things, we know right now that the news has been highlighting these incidents. And certain groups of people are going to be a little bit paranoid of a bunch of cops showing up with their guns drawn at them. If he really wanted a gunfight, he would have pulled the gun up. But even from the video, it doesn't look like his arms are anywhere but at his side. He was freaking out. And every time one of these things happen, and every time the news highlights one of these things, we get cities that burn. We get cities that burn. People's businesses and homes burned to the ground, and they had nothing to do with anything. Because we got a bunch of geniuses out there that don't know any better. I mean, if you have a beef with the police department, take all your people down to the police department and protest outside there. You don't burn down the police department. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. File a lawsuit, whatever you got to do. But to burn random buildings down, loot buildings. Let's just loot a Jimmy John's. I wanted one of those Slims tonight. That sounds good. You want a Slim, dude? Yeah, we want a Slim. Jimmy John's is closed, though. That don't matter. They got food. We'll just go in there and loot the place. Because it's all Jimmy John's fault that some cop shot some dude. And it doesn't appease anybody that they're throwing the book at the one cop who shot the guy with the book. I think that was in Tucson. They're indicting her. She's going to go to jail. That doesn't make anybody happy that actually justice might be served in that case. But to get back to Charlotte here, this guy, they weren't even on a bus for this guy. Cops were out searching. They were on some kind of other beat. They were doing some other operation. And they happened to see this dude rolling what they thought was a blunt. So the guy was putting some weed in a big blunt cigar case there, and he was going to smoke a big blunt. Yep, he had a gun. I'm just saying, when I see these kind of towns, I mean, I've worked in these kind of areas when I was doing road construction. They're not very safe. People should own guns because the cops don't get there. The cops don't get there in time, if the cops get there at all. The cops are too busy doing operations busting this one guy over here. And I'm not defending. The guy might be a thug. But from even the police reports, the dude rolled himself a blunt. He's probably going to smoke it, just chill out. Maybe he's going to be mellow that day. And then you guys surround him because he's smoking a blunt. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know it's illegal. I'm sorry. It's illegal. I forget. There are times when I forget that in some places it's just illegal to sit down and relax with a nice blunt. If the guy was a thug, a murderer, or something else, and you were going to bust him for that, that's one thing. But apparently you were there on some other operation, and your little scout goes, oh, who else can we bust while we're here? Don't you love that? When the cops are out to bust people, they're out to bust people. You see them when those traffic stops, right? Where they start busting people, and there's like one guy radaring somebody from the top of the overpass, and then he's calling out to his lines of buddies down the road, and he's like, yeah, the red Mustang there, it's doing 75 into 65, somebody get him. And then it's like,
Hey, Billy Bob, you want to get this one?
No, I got the last one. You get it.
Okay, we're going to go get him.
10-4.
so they're all sitting out there doing that, doing their little operation, when they should be out, all over. I know they're stronger in numbers and they're more protected because the cops are under fire too right now. So the cops are scared of a group of people are scared of the cops. Nobody's trusting anybody. And the country's falling apart right before our eyes. Get the people up in D.C., they think it's all wonderful. Everything's wonderful. All the achievements by the president since he's been in office, and what is he gonna do here in the last few months? All the while the country's burning. And don't worry, give it a week or so. This will go away, and there'll be some other terrorist attack or something going on. The order of things goes this way. Presidential candidate gaffe, terrorist attack, cop shooting, city burns. Go back to the regular news for a little while. Candidate gaffe.
10 years ago, everybody wanted the wall.
Terrorist attack, cop shooting, city burns. That's about the news cycle that we can almost be assured of, at least in 2016. And everybody in D.C. thinks it's okay. Things are going great. It's like we're in some kind of third world nation. Although when you look at some of the once great big cities and the state that they're in right now, we might be in a third world nation. But that's what you get when you fundamentally transform a country.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
You go from world leaders to third world leaders. In one generation, you go from free to Z.
Don't touch that dial. The John Lebang Show will be right back.
You can bet on it, man.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Top 10 Artists 23 EXP releases their 11-song debut album, Welcome, featuring songs like Siren, This album is guaranteed to satisfy your hunger with songs like Food. Welcome by 23EXP is available right now at CD Baby, Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, and wherever music is sold. And yes, this album includes the number one song, Stand Up. Welcome by 23EXP. Get it today. The monster that's inside.
The following advertisement is paid for Banger for President 2016.
Donald Trump. He wants single-payer health care.
Everybody's got to be covered. This is an un-Republican thing for me to say, because a lot of times they say, no, the lower 25%, they can't afford private. But everybody's going to be taken care of much better than they're taken care of now.
He's even said he's a Democrat.
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat.
So why the hell is he running as a Republican?
Makes you scratch your head.
Oh, I'm confused, man. So when both parties are on the left,
Then do the right thing.
vote for none of the above, man. Because what difference does it make anyways? We're all screwed.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's what's cool on radio.
If you beat up for your pride and it makes you want to hide in the closet. If you choose to play with boys and they hate you for your choice and destroy him. Yes, yes. Rainbow Pride. Rainbow Pride.
Well, aren't you looking dashing?
I'm sloppy and I'm dirty.
Well, you could say that again. Maybe you want to comb your hair at least?
I don't need to look pretty. I got my mind control.
Oh, that's fascinating. Tell me more.
I just pull out my magic wand, wave it around, and when I'm done, they are down.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. You'll have to show it to me sometime.
Let me demonstrate. Hey, you. What do you want? Look at this. Now I want you to bark like a dog. See, they can't resist.
Oh, look at the time. We better get going or we're gonna miss the big event.
Breaking news. Be on the lookout for this man, Abu Mortadai. Authorities have linked him to the recent rash of incidents that have plagued the city. They believe him to be the leader of a group called ISIL, a radical organization that has recently formed out of the chaos of the civil unrest. Police and federal agencies are asking for your cooperation in capturing this known fugitive. He was last spotted near the old adult toy store and factory near John R. and 7 Mile. He is also believed to be armed and dangerous. If you have any information about Abu Mortadai, please contact our Crime Stopper hotline or dial 911.
Well, that was fun. You know, next time we should plan to get here a little bit earlier.
What do you want me to do with them?
Oh, just tie him up to the tree. Oh, I'm feeling warm all over. We better go home before I get too hot. Then I won't be able to control myself in front of all these people.
So what do we do with him?
Oh, he's so cute. Bring him along. I can give him something to eat. Never too many mouths to feed.
Come on, doggy.
And you'll have to show me your wand again.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's hydroponic radio for your brain, man. You feel smarter yet? Take Cleveland, for instance. You know, the Republican National Convention was there. That was a good time. Everybody remembers that. That's where Donald Trump finally became the Republican nominee. Cleveland and its close neighbor, East Cleveland, are considering merging these two cities together to try to get themselves out of poverty. I wonder what party the people over there at the city council and the mayor's office in Cleveland and East Cleveland they are affiliated with. You see, East Cleveland and Cleveland, two of the country's poorest cities, are debating whether to merge. And both cities, of course, say the state of Ohio needs to provide millions of dollars to these broken cities so they can fix their infrastructure and get their finances back in order. East Cleveland, who has millions and millions and millions of dollars of unpaid bills and hasn't been able to borrow money on any municipal credit for years. The city can barely make payroll after deep cuts in its workforce. They had to get rid of a whole bunch of people. They only have 5 firefighters in all of East Cleveland. I bet you those are some quality homes out there in East Cleveland. The residents say they're tired of crumbling streets, abandoned buildings, and anxious waits for emergency services, and they are ready to be absorbed by Cleveland. So Cleveland's going to gobble them up in hopes that they will receive basic city services that they have long lived without. The residents of East Cleveland, a good portion of them don't go out and work. I'm guessing there, of course. Feel free to correct me in the chat room or call in. But I'm willing to bet that because the city is falling apart, there's nobody working in that city. There's hardly any businesses running. Crime's up. I know that. According to the people there, it is so dangerous that people have to arm themselves. And Hillary Clinton wants to take their guns away. They live in a rotten neighborhood where they got to protect themselves. The cops can't do it. Most of the time, the cops are shooting them. And I know the cops have a hard job. I know they have a hard job. But they have got to stop being so jackbooted. So they're armed in East Cleveland. Nobody wants to live in these cities. I mean, who wants to live in these cities? Not a person. It's a cesspool of scum and villainy. And how do you fix a cesspool like Cleveland and East Cleveland? Parts of Detroit and Flint and Ferguson and all types of cities that are just in decay and are ruled by crime. How do you fix those things? Well, you need to clean out the cities of all the lowlifes, the ones that trash these cities and cause the crimes. That's the only way to do it. But how do you do that? How do you get rid of the scum element? Most of these areas, very low educated people. They're poverty stricken. For the most part, they probably feel desperate. I'm talking the good people in these areas. Because how do you get rid of the scumbags from these areas? Because there's no containing it. Cleveland, Detroit, Baltimore, Ferguson, how do you fix the problems? Any good little socialist will say they just need more funding and education and awareness, access to good services. These little lemmings think throwing money at the problem will solve it all. But the human rats who destroy these communities, who cause the violence, who drive the good working folk out, they continue to multiply. While the good people, they dwindle, they leave. And because feral pests aren't in the business of educating themselves, you can't expect them to just change because you're throwing money at it. You might as well take that money and put it in a furnace and cook it. Just give them paper. If you just want to throw around paper, give them blank sheets of paper. Because it seems like the rodents are multiplying. And what happens when rodents multiply? You get disease and rot. Very much like you get in Cleveland, East Cleveland, Detroit, Ferguson, Flint. and dozens of other cities. And money isn't gonna get rid of the problem. Jackbooted police aren't gonna get rid of the problem. Education isn't gonna get rid of the problem. Money, none of it. Awareness, people's behavior has to change. And I don't know if you can change it. Because, like rodents, rats, they love to live in abandoned buildings and destroyed areas. You never see a rat's nest in a nice, beautiful section of town. And it's built up real nice and it has luxuries in it. A rat's nest is just that. It's a rat's nest. It's built around junk, in junk. You have to get rid of the rats to get rid of the decay, to get rid of the garbage. And I don't know if rats can change their nature, because a feral rat is a feral rat. You just can't domesticate a feral animal like that. So if you have any solutions out there and want to share them with the class, feel free to go to the chat room or the comment section and let us know. How do you fix the problem with these broken cities and the broken police department and this broken country? You've got to blame the ones who have been running this. In my city, if one of my neighbors allows a rat nest to be created and these rats begin to terrorize the community, the owner, the person in charge of that property, is held accountable. Fines, whatever. So we've got to hold the people who have been in charge of Detroit, Cleveland, East Cleveland. Not just recently. We have to look back at when these cities were in their prime, where the decay began, and the people who were actually in charge of that decay, who actually watched it collapse. We got to learn from that. I can tell you without any reservation that practically every city that's in ruin right now that I had mentioned was run by Democrats. And here I go, Democrats. But that's just the American name. That's just the American political party of the worldwide socialist party. And that's the problem. Socialism. Again, let me know what your thoughts are in the chat room. Where do you think you're going?
Hey, man, don't go anywhere, man. The John Lebang Show will be right back.
Are you crazy?
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
Are you looking to bring the karaoke experience to your next event? Have you looked at the home karaoke systems and found them to be just toys? Well, Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke has professional equipment, professional sound, and delivers a professional karaoke experience. Don't settle for hundreds of songs when you can have tens of thousands. From oldies, Motown, and R&B to rock, metal, alternative, rap, and country, Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke has it all. Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke is available for private parties as well as bars, clubs, and other special events. For booking, call 734-658-2746. That's 734-658-2746. Or visit us online at www.alienstoneentertainment.com. Alien Stone Entertainment. Out of this world karaoke, down to earth prices.
And allow me to do a little bit of self-promotion. If you're enjoying the John Lebang Show and would like to know more, then feel free to go to our website. That's www.jlebang.com. There are archives of the show. You can check out the music I've produced and even enjoy a little pirate TV. Now, if you want to contact the John Lebang Show, there's one quick and easy way. You can email us at jlebang@live.com. We accept pictures of your girlfriend, music from bands that are local and unsigned, hate mail, and all other sorts of material. Now, if you like YouTube, then check out our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/LeBangerhead, or just use the search on Banger Incorporated. We have a Twitter account, and if you have a Twitter account, then come tweet with us and follow us at John Lebang. We also have a Facebook page, so like our page at The John Lebang Show. This half hour is brought to you by FantasyPuckheads.com. The season is about to begin. Keep up with all of the fantasy hockey news at FantasyPuckheads.com.
Captain, I'm picking up a strange anomaly.
Mr. Tukok, what is it? It appears to be a primitive form of communication that is traveling through space, Captain.
Captain, I've traced the source of the transmission.
On screen. Damn it, Jim. That's Earth.
Captain, a signal's coming in.
On speaker.
The John Lebang Show is on every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on Alien X Radio.
Fascinating. I told you not to mess with the space-time continuum.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
Forces of darkness, the treasonable minds who collaborate must, can, and will be wiped from the face of the earth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you're enjoying this evening's broadcast. Not quite the normal broadcast, but not that far off from the normal. We do a lot of commentary here, on top of the all music and comedy that we interject into the show. Another topic I'd like to discuss tonight is this, since we're in the abomination, this is what has gone on. Everything we've been talking about tonight, everything that I've conveyed to you tonight is a product of the abomination.
Yes, we can.
But not only do we have police shootings and riots and terrorist attacks and
Yes, we can.
all sorts of other modern day troubles
Yes, we can.
in the abomination, the president himself vetoes a 9/11 bill which would have allowed the families of the victims of 9/11 to sue the Saudi government, the Saudi people, whoever they found, whoever they could prove was behind, who was behind the attacks of 9/11. And Barry up over there, who's always crying for justice and talking about fairness and doing what's right.
Yes, we can.
He's going to protect the Saudis. You got to ask yourself, why? Why does he always seem to protect people who are not from this country?
Yes, we can.
Why is he always a defender of people who are not Americans?
Yes, we can.
We rarely see him defending Americans, unless he's pinning one group of American against the other. Then yeah, he'll interject his opinion.
Yes, we can.
He'll sway people, he'll rile people up, he'll convince people that what he's talking about is the right way. But if one side's an American and another side is whoever, from wherever and whenever, he tends to lean more to the side that is not American. And I'm wondering, why would he veto a bill that was sent up to him? Congress has been sending him up bills at an incredible rate this year, and he's signing them into law, all these bills. It's like new records. So we can see that the Republicans and Democrats get along real well when both their agendas, both their goals are being helped along. Then they get along real well, and then they pass bills at an incredible rate. But when it comes to helping out American citizens who are victims and their loved ones were victims of a terrorist attack that happened over a decade ago, and there's a chance to sue the individuals who might have put money behind it. I mean, you're not... I know there's going to be no way to extradite whoever from Saudi Arabia to bring them back to face justice. But maybe these families can sue for money and get something out of the deal. Especially if the Saudi government was behind it. You know, I always ask myself, because it's boggled my mind for all these many years, the majority of hijackers were Saudi Arabian. From Saudi Arabia. The majority of them. And we never went into Saudi Arabia. We found a reason to go into Afghanistan. There wasn't one Afghani in the whole bunch of hijackers. We found a reason to go into Iraq, and there wasn't one Iraqi in the whole bunch of hijackers. But we never got into Saudi Arabia. We never could go there. Sometimes I think we do the bidding of the Saudi government, because they would like the Assad regime to be taken out in Syria there. And magically the United States and Hillary Clinton, along with President Obama, wanted Assad and the Syrian regime to be removed. In fact, ISIS does too. So in those regards, the Saudi government, the United States government, including Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, as well as the ISIS terrorist group, are all on the same side when it comes to Assad and removing him from power. That should tell us a lot about whose side we're on. At least in this fight. So it's no wonder why President Barack Hussein Obama would veto a bill. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill. And I made my way from Capitol Hill. Then I went to see Obama, and he laughed at me. He said, veto my ass and throw me in the trash, 'cause he's protecting the Saudi government. That just came out. Just felt like singing. And Barry over there just decides to veto it because he doesn't want to, I'm not sure. He doesn't want to cause trouble because they can do the same to us. What does that mean? That was his reasoning in his little speech, his little press conference. He doesn't want them to turn around and sue us. Sue us for what? What's the Saudi government going to sue us for? We showed them how to drill oil. We've protected them for I don't know how many years. We've done all their bidding. What exactly are you afraid of, Mr. President? What are you afraid of with the Saudi government? that they could possibly have over you, that you wouldn't allow U.S. citizens to sue the Saudi government or anybody in Saudi Arabia that was found to have a link to 9/11. It makes me shake my head. I don't understand this. You're the president of the United States. What are you afraid of? What does Saudi Arabia have over you? I wonder. Probably nothing, right? So here we stand in 2016. Our president doesn't want our U.S. citizens to possibly sue anybody that might have any ties to 9/11. The country is burning. The cops are shooting people. Cities are rioting. Terrorist attacks are going off inside the country. This is what you get in the abomination. I don't think I coined that phrase. I'm pretty sure I didn't coin that phrase. But is there any more fitting term for this current sitting president and what has happened to the country since he was inaugurated back in 2008? The government is taking in record amounts of money while all this is happening. More people are not in the labor force. More people are on food stamps. More people are on welfare. More people are in Social Security. More people are buying guns. More people are in debt. More people are going crazy. That's the abomination. That is the abomination. More. More of everything. Except freedom. More NSA spying. More bombs dropping in more countries. More spending. More taxes. More costs to healthcare. More shattered dreams. More infrastructure problems. More crime. More murder. More violence. More government corruption. More greed. That's the abomination. More lead in the water. More lies. More deleted emails. More immigrants. More refugees. Is that what you wanted? All this in the abomination.
In the abomination.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill. And I made my way from Capitol Hill. Then I went to see Obama, and he laughed at me. He said, veto my ass and throw me in the trash, 'cause he's protecting the Saudi government.
Yes, we can.
Don't touch that dial. John Lebang Show will be right back.
You can bet on it, man.
Fans, do you need a video for your brand new song but don't have a lot of money? Then contact John Lebang. His reasonable rates, professional look, and fast turnarounds will help get that song off the ground. Contact him at jlebang.com. The following advertisement is paid for Banger for President 2016.
Hillary Clinton, she's ugly. And do you really want to hear this for the next 4 years?
What difference at this point does it make?
Or this? Or even this? I don't think so.
So do the right thing.
Vote for none of the above, man.
Or else you'll get this.
The world must understand that the United States will act decisively if necessary, including with military action.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's hydroponic radio for your brain, man.
Feel smarter yet? And I'd like to welcome back to the show my good friend Wilbert Hillbilly. He'll be joining us over the next few minutes as we kill a little time to cool or uncool. How you doing, Wilbert?
Just fine, John. Hey, did you hear that Trump was going to threaten to bring Jennifer Flowers to the debate?
That would make it interesting to say the least.
I think he's going to try really hard to get under Hillary's skin and watch her crack.
And at this stage in her life, and with her medical condition, I don't think that's going to be too hard of a push.
No, we've got squares going on how long it's going to take Trump to make her crack. You want to get in on it?
How much is it a square?
$10 a square.
Yeah, count me in for about $20.
All right, well, just catch me after the show. And Paula Jones wants to get in on it too.
Wouldn't that be great if Donald brought the whole gang back, brought Monica along, and they were all smoking cigars?
I paid $1 million to see that, John.
You wouldn't have to, Wilbert. It's going to be on national TV.
Did you see how friendly Michelle Obama and George W. were?
Yeah, they were awfully cuddly, weren't they?
You know, it's right out in the open, and I can't believe people don't see the whole charade.
Isn't it charade?
I say it the way I say it. It's a bunch of crap. That's what I'm talking about. I'd like to touch on a couple things that you were talking about earlier, if I could, John.
Go right ahead, Wilbert.
Well, you were talking about the Obamination just a little while ago. And do you know I have a complete list of all the riots that have taken place under President Obama.
You have a complete list?
That's right.
Well, lay it out to us.
Well, of course, we got here in 2016, we've got Charlotte, we got Milwaukee, we got St. Paul. Then back in 2015, we had Baltimore. Then in 2014, we had Berkeley and Ferguson. Then in 2013, we had Brooklyn. I bet you forgot about that one. Back in 2012, we had Anaheim and Los Angeles. We also had one in Los Angeles in 2010. And Oakland back in 2010. So you see, they've been busy, those rioters. They've been all over the country. They've been they started out in California because that's where it's nice out there, and you got to riot where it's nice first. Then they went all the way out east to call their protests there. Then they said, heck, man, let's go to some place nobody ever heard of before, and that's Ferguson, Missouri. So they went over there. Then they said, well, we don't like it here. Let's go over to Berkeley because that's California again. And that's nice warm weather, and we won't have to worry about much then. Then they got bored, and they said, you know what, let's go out to Baltimore. Maybe we'll catch an Orioles play or something. Maybe the Ravens are playing, I don't know. But anyways, they went out to Baltimore. They had a ride out there and they had a good old time. They only went to Baltimore that year, those riders, because it was expensive to go riding all ride around. So in 2015, they said, we need some more money. So then they called up George Soros and said, hey, could we get some more money to start some more riots? So then they went up to St. Paul, Minnesota, and they're thinking, man, it's cold up here. So can you go a little further south or east or something? So he said, heck, go to Milwaukee. And well, you know, when you go to Milwaukee, that ain't much warmer than it is in St. Paul, so they weren't too happy there. So now they said, can we go to somewhere warm? You know, because winter's coming, and we don't want to be, like, trapped up here in the wintertime protesting and riding. I know we have big bonfires and all, but we don't want to be caught up here in the wintertime. We'd have to have really big bonfires, and there's just not enough houses to burn. So can we go to somewhere warmer? And then they got sent to Charlotte and had a good old time down there. I wonder where the next place is going to be for the big old riot.
There's a cycle to the news, and we've hit the rioting. So we went through a terrorist attack, we had the cop shootings, and the rioting. They burned down the city. So the next step, if we don't have a week or two off, maybe they got to get everything prepared for the next one. But I don't think so, because we got the presidential debate coming up. So we're going to have some kind of presidential gaffe, and one of the candidates, probably the one asking for a stool, will have a gaffe, and then we'll have to have a terrorist attack right after that. And then after the terrorist attack, we'll have another cop shooting, and then there'll be another riot. And that should bring us right into the election. And if we have a big enough terrorist attack or a big enough riot, who knows, they might cancel the election.
That would be something Obama would pull off.
Well, I didn't say that. You did.
Well, I can say that because I can't get in trouble for it. Look, I got to get on out of here. I got to work on the, I got to work on the tank.
Can I ask you something?
What's that?
Why do we call it a tank when it's a van?
Well, it just doesn't sound as cool being called the van.
Well, why do you say that?
that when you're talking about vans, you got to be down by a river smoking doobies.
And people don't smoke doobies in a tank?
Well, they don't smoke doobies, but they sure get smoked. Take it easy.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's what's cool on radio.
Hey, John, I'm feeling better. You want to do cool and uncool? Sure, come on in. I was hoping you'd feel better. Yeah, I'm doing a little better. Still to help me out. So what do you want to do with this hour's cool or uncool, Shady? How about what you were talking about? The Obama Nation. Very fitting. Yeah, well, I've been listening in. Okay, so tonight's cool or uncool is Obama Nation. Now, can we get on with this? You can post your responses in the chat room or comment sections, or you can call in at 313-444-8919. And our first call comes from Washington, D.C. Barry, cool or uncool?
I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I think if I ran, I could win.
Okay, thanks for your call. Chalk one up for cool. That guy sounded familiar. Listening in on 920 WON, The Apple in New York, Donald, what say you?
Crumbling roads and bridges, or the dilapidated airports, or the factories moving overseas to Mexico, or to other countries for that matter. I know these problems can all be fixed only by me.
Thanks for your call. Well, we're tied at one apiece, listening to us on Raw Talk Radio Online in Tampa, Florida. Cora, you're up next.
I've never seen anything like it. The whole world's gone to hell in a handbasket, and it's all his fault. That stupid jackass.
Okay, thanks for your call. So that's an uncool for Cora. 2-1 in favor of uncool. Now we have an email from Michael in D.C. Shady, that's Michelle? Well, what's the difference? You got me there. Z writes, it's cool in the Obama Nation. 2-2, back to the phones. We go to Chicago, where she is listening in on 24.7 The Stream. Peppa, you're up next.
I love President Obama. He be like cool.
Okay, thanks for your call. 3-2 in favor of cool, Shady. That's not a good sign. Listening in on our home station in Detroit, Anonymous, you're up.
I didn't do it.
Abu?
Yes.
Abu, you're a wanted man.
In more ways than one, John. But I wanted to call in and say I didn't do it.
You know, John, the cops are probably tracing this call right now. You better hang up.
I need your help, John.
And how can I help?
Oh no, I got to run. I'll let you know. Bye.
Okay, thanks for your call. Feds are gonna be all over this place now. No, we're pretty safe. That's what she said. Georgia, you're up next.
I'm still mad at you, John.
Okay, thanks for your call. Well, we have guests in the chat room say, uncool. Well, we have a tie then, and time's up. Hell no, we don't. I say uncool. The uncools win. Let's get the hell out of here. Okay, folks, enjoy one of our favorite bands here on the John Lebang Show, all the way from down under in Australia. Here's The Dark Clouds.
Earthlings, I am the Dean of Dark Cloud, and you are listening to the John Lebang Show. Peace, love, and rock and roll.
My soul to the soul man. I sold my soul to the soul man. I sold my soul, he sold to hell. I sold my soul to the soul man. I sold my
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another 60-minute excursion into the
John Lebang Show, where chronic brain cell rejuvenation happens.
I'd like to thank everybody listening in on all of our affiliate stations, including our new affiliate in the United Kingdom, Identify Radio. From Detroit to the United Kingdom, Iowa to Chicago, New York to Canton, Las Vegas, Tampa, and Amsterdam. Don't forget to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. Thank you all for listening. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John Lebang. I am signing off.
Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance is futile.
All right, Don's show over.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right, now, so I got the swears for the debate. It's a 90-minute debate. Get out your money. And who's first?
I'll take the 30-minute mark.
Okay, she's got 30 minutes.
I'll take everything from the 75-minute mark and on.
Well, that's going to cost you $100. John, you want in? Yeah, give me everything from 15 to 25 minutes.
All right, got you down there. What about you, Stoney?
Oh, man, I think she's going to blow her lid right away, man. So 10 minutes and earlier, I'll take, man.
All right, got you down there. Leroy, you want some of this?
Well, what do you got left?
We've got from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, and we've got from 25 to 30 minutes, and then we've got everything after 30 minutes to quarter till.
Well, which one should I pick, Uncle Sheedy?
I don't care, you ain't winning anyway.
All right, just give me the 25 to 30-minute one.
I'm going to take all the rest of the spots.
What about me?
Yogi, did you want one?
No gambling, I do.
Dan, you want in?
No, that's okay.